Evolution, the present, past, and the future. That's the activity's name. And we launched that activity yesterday during this weekend session. And yesterday, the think tank was happening, and today, the members have made some arrangements which I would be showing. Today is September 9th, 2023, and this is MS Evening Session number 1177. The attendees are Mitra, Hariharan, Dhanvant, and Shivan, and they were making some plans yesterday, and today they reached by 5:50, and now the time is 7:10, and they have been busy. First of all, preparing a blueprint on the whiteboard, and Shivan, Dhanvant, and Hariharan were busy in terms of preparing the material allocation, the simulation allocation. They will be explaining about their own country. It is their country. It is called as the Hindustan, and they will explain about the country. And remember, as I mentioned yesterday, the timeline of this particular country is 1985, and the people who are surviving are these four alone, and that's the actual game strategy. They were given that beginning thinking, and they have prepared. So the sequence of the presentation, which had been determined yesterday, Shivan will start. Dhanvant will start. Shivan will continue after Dhanvant. Mitra will continue after Shivan, and Hariharan will be presenting his remarks as the last candidate. So, without taking further, I am pretty much excited and interested to know how the country is being prepared. So, Dhanvant is coming to the mic now. Give a big hand to Dhanvant.
Good evening to all. Good evening to another passenger. Today our theme share topic evolution. We make our own kingdom with the materials, and the timeline is 1985. How we are making our kingdom with the materials, and after no peoples and there, after peoples came, they can live happily. So we make
While Dhanvant is thinking over, this is how the country has been designed with the kind of the properties that they have taken. Yes, it looks like a little bit of a mess, but they have explanations for everything. And as you could see, the board has the blueprint, and this is the materials. Dhanvant, go.
You explain what it signifies. You take a note, okay?
Okay.
Please.
It's not no.
Your designing is only secondary, your presentation is primary.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, the rings are trees. The rings are trees was necessary. The earthquake came, the soil erosion can be stopped by trees.
Yeah.
And the army base and the weapons to maintain the border of the country and safeguard the country from the enemies.
So we have
Four army bases.
So we have 4 army bases. So as you can see, the directions are going to be, this is going to signify the north direction, that's going to be south direction, this is going to be east, and this is going to be west. So army, at the end of our presentation, we will be showcasing like the salient features of our country. So one of the salient features is a powerful army base. This is because we have army base on each side, that is northern, southern, eastern and western directions, so that enemies like the predators who come from each direction could be prevented. That is, the army base, they are equipped with a lot of powerful weapons, and our presentation timeline being 30 years, like the technology gets advanced and we have more and more weapons for safeguarding our own country. So we have army bases on four sites to safeguard our own country from the predators and as well as from the terrorists. And that is the main outcome, like the reason behind having army bases on 4 directions, and as well as there is one more thing which is going to play a very important role, which will be explained by our teammates.
That's road to connect the states between the other countries and to travel. That's the main bank in the kingdom Hindustan to control the money spent by the peoples. That's a river. It's coming from north to south. It's a main source of country for water. It's wheat agriculture land for the northern peoples, and that's south agriculture land for food product. That's houses.
So it actually, these cards, like you could see a lot of life cards scattered over the entire country, and they signify the government buildings. So if we take government buildings into account, like there are many states. There are about 8 states in our country. It is further divided into sub-cities and so many. And the 8 states, each state would have the following government buildings, like government hospitals, treasury, government schools, and also museums. If you ask what this signifies, it's going to be the museum, and this is for research purpose. Like many people might approach the museum for knowledge as well as for research purposes. So we have so many museums all around the country for that purpose. The next is going to be High Court, Supreme Court, as everyone knows that's necessary for the jurisdiction. Then subordinate courts as well. Then municipality, then collector office, and as you know what a country needs, it will definitely need leaders, that is chief minister, prime minister, president, all their officers, and including the parliament, and all that would be necessary for the functioning of the country. That serves as the government buildings are represented by these lifeguards, and that's why it is scattered over each state, signifying that each state has all the functions for the welfare of the people. Would you like to explain anything else?
Yes, he has to. He hasn't even presented.
That's a factory to give the.
Why was the plan changed?
Sir?
Why was the plan changed that you had to speak in between?
Sir, to add upon, like, we wanted to give an elaborative description on each and every entity, sir. Like, as this is the first time for making a huge presentation, forgot to see.
If you want to take some time, you can recollect the points and then you can present later. No problem. Take some time?
Yes, sir.
No problem. Shivan,
Yes.
you go and fill the mic.
Yes.
Then we'll come to sir. Good presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Good presentation, sir. Sir, can I start, sir?
Yeah.
Warm greetings to everybody. Today we are going to talk about our country called Hindustan. The scenario is no one is alive in the world, but we 4 are only alive in the world. So the PVC pipes has boundary, and trees as rings as trees, Lego as temples, cups as factories, lifeguards as rivers, white stump as DRDO, lifeboat as dam, hockey net army base, hockey bat as windmill, cricket.
As we have a necessity of hockey net, we have been kept stickered cups as an army camp in the both sides. So if you can see that western and western each side will be the army camp as a hockey net, and the south and north will be the stickered cups as an army camp.
So this is the army camp. So So we have some weapons. The marbles are the weapons, and those bullets are the army people. And the hockey net is the army base. And hockey bats.
That is called
Hockey bats as windmills.
This one, bro.
This is
You mentioned the
You
toy
explain.
hockey bag. So you better leave it to Mitra. You go to the mic.
yes.
You explain, and she will parallelly, she will parallelly denote things. Yeah.
Yes. Sir, who?
You explain.
And cricket board as ground, wooden slate and
Stump.
wooden stump, wooden stick and nest or rest. Rest of PVC and black stumps, railway track. Coins as supermarkets, Tambola coins as agri farms. Soldiers, bullets are the soldiers. Police stations are the targets. Weapons, marbles are the weapons from the weapons are in DRDO police station and army base. Government offices, government hospitals, treasury, government schools, museum,
Balls. Balls.
museum
Are the
as
balls.
ball, museum, high courts and supreme courts as balls.
Museum and balls, raw.
Okay, you get on to
See,
the next
museum balls.
Sorry, get me there.
Continue, sir.
Good job, Shiva.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, Mitra.
Anna, Parani, you can go ahead.
Mitra,
I already spoke now.
No, go.
sequence wise.
Shivan, how much left in your presentation?
Sir, half, sir.
Half left, sir.
Then give it back to me.
Court. What is
This
this?
is the code.
That only balls, raw. This High Court, Supreme Court,
Supreme Court,
subordinate court.
subordinate courts, municipality, collector, parliament, CM, PM,
What are the objects?
That's all the lifeguards, sir.
lifeguards. Anna, I can tell
Out.
you. Main bank,
Bank, da.
main bank as paperweight.
Schools and colleges?
Sir, it will come. Sub bank as sub banks are hurry up gem buttons. Roads are blocks.
Where is the gems?
Sir, that's only near 3 Mitra. 3 long-term investment. Near that
Orange. Yeah.
straight.
Okay.
Okay.
Rings as temple.
That's all, that's
Rings as
repetition.
far as you mentioned.
Sir, as note on the different.
Full of sides. Houses, blue coins.
ஒருத்தன் பேசவே இல்லை ஒருத்தன் தப்பா படிச்சிட்டு இருக்கு டேய் என்னடா பிளான் பண்ணீங்க அப்போ
சார் அது ஹேண்ட் ரைட்டிங் வந்து மாறிட்டு.
அப்ப நீ என்ன பண்ணிருக்கணும் நீ உன்னோட ஹேண்ட் ரைட்டிங் எழுதிருக்கணும்
சார் இது அண்ணாவோட நோட்டுங்க சார்.
அண்ணாவோட நோட்டு நீ ஒன்னு நீ என்ன டிபெண்ட் பண்ணிருக்க
ஓகே.
why do you depend somebody else's resources if you are a teammate
Pawns as houses. Car pawns as cars from the life game.
That's all.
And okay, thank you, sir.
right that's good
Thank
job
Mitra, continue.
give him clap okay so stop showing the objects that's enough
Yes, sir.
explain the content
Okay, sir. Shall I start, sir?
switch off சரி நீங்க எல்லாம் அங்க போய் உட்காருங்க listen to the presentation and I have some questions also I will ask whenever it comes அங்க போ
Sir, board வேணுமா?
அண்ணா நான் பிடிச்சிக்கிறேன் 2 நிமிஷத்துல வச்சிரும்.
கொஞ்சம் உனக்கு வெயிட் Okay.
And I will also hold.
Super. Don't stamp on the wire though.
So a warm greetings to another present here and welcome to the tour of our country, the Hindustan. So first, before getting on to the presentation, I would like to explain the salient features of our country. Like salient features are very common, but we have some unique features of our country. So that's why we have mentioned it as the first like the description about the country. The first one is population control. You could see there are so many entities, so many facilities for the welfare of the people, but to the equal core, we also need a population control, because too much population, they would need a lot of resources which would be utilized, and there might be like some people would be devoid of resources due to their poverty level, and there would be a decrease in the number of resources available for people if the population is little high than the approximated level. So the first salient feature is population control, and we also give them high employment. That is, high employment is another feature, because we have so many entities and it would be unfair if we don't provide the right and right job to each and every person who is capable of doing that respective job. So whoever comes to us, like as we four or the people who are alive in this world, we are trying to create a country which would be like advisable and useful for the next 2 or 3 generations.
You can keep the board and you can lift it whenever it is necessary.
Yes, அங்க வச்சிருங்க
I don't
ரொம்ப
think
நேரம்
she's
தூக்கிட்டு
speaking anything relevant to the board now. So when she is asking you to lift up, you can lift up. Yes.
So the second thing is high employment, because when people don't like achieve the job or achieve their dream, they get disappointed. So the thing is, we have created so many entities. As you could see, the countries, like the entire blueprint would look a little messy, but we have created so many entities for the welfare of the people. When they get employed in a particular company, they might get the required amount of salary as income, which would be contributing to their welfare. So this is the first thing. And the second thing is definitely calamities free.
So, no, it's okay. It's okay. So the blueprint that has been prepared by Mitra and her team members. Light on the glass here.
So my glare at him.
Give out video pass. Now, as you could see, the board contains, even if it is a blurred vision, I would like to explain what exactly the team has tried to do. I think this has been entirely crafted by Mitra. So, just like in the maps, we see a legendary kind of denotion. They have tried to make the Hindustan country in this and this way. Like what we are seeing here in this board is just the anatomy of what they have put up on the floor. So all these written descriptions encircled are the features of the country. So that is what she has done, and the very reason why I am carrying this board and explaining is the team's effort of preparing this kind of a board should not be going wasted, and that is why I have taken the choice. Do you have any specific things to be explained from this board?
Sir, idilanda sir, it's going to be my presentation, so I can keep it, sir. No problem, sir. I remember.
Right, fine.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you can take things.
Yes, sir.
from
In
here.
kuda vechana.
Display is enough.
Yes, sir. Update.
So Hariharan will be presenting after this.
Yes,
sir.
Okay.
So the second feature is going to be calamities free. If you could see, there is a dam. Like the major calamities that we see which would be affecting the entire country is drought and famine. Because when we don't have the food necessary and the water necessary, it's going to create a huge impact on the people. So the thing that we have ensured is abundant supply of food and abundant supply of water. So as you could see, that is going to be the northern side. Sir, update, sir. No problem, sir. That is going to be the northern side, and this is going to be the southern side. As you could see there near the dam, we have like an agricultural field where paddy is getting cultivated. On this side, if you could see on the southern side, the wheat crop is being cultivated. So these are the main staple crops of our country, and we depend on that. And also, as we have dam and all those that is necessary for the agricultural land, that is for irrigation, we make sure that agriculture is also like benefited, and as well as the intake of food and the necessary amount of water for people is also benefited. So that's why you could see so many entities in the northern side. So next is going to be flood and all those. For all those we have created new laws, like each country will have a constitution and laws. So we have made it ensure that we are taking care of the food supply and as well as water supply, because more than any calamities, drought is going to create a huge impact. So we have considered it as a prioritized calamity where it could affect so many people. And we also have this calamity free, like although we have seas on either all the sides, we have ensure that there is not going to be any terrorist attack, because we have army bases on all the 4 sides. So this week we have taken it to account. The next one is literacy. As there are so many government officers and all this, we need a lot of employees who must be capable of doing that particular job. We are not going to recruit people who are incapable of doing a particular job. So we have made it as a law that each and every person must undergo education. They have to at least compulsory education till 15 years of age, so that they would be capable of doing at least simple amount of work irrespective of their level. That is, if they are in a poor state or if they are in a good state, we have ensured that each and every person gets the education. The next one is technological advancement. As our time period is from 1985 to 2015, it's going to be 30 years period of time where there is going to be a lot of technological advancements which must reach each and every person living in each and every corner of the country. So technological advancement is going to be another thing, another entity of our country.
Only you 4 are surviving.
Yes, sir.
And so many features are available in your country.
Yes, sir.
So what are you looking for? People coming from the neighboring countries and get benefited out of your country, or are you going to make it as a tourism arrangement so that the other people from the other countries can come and have a real good hosting around into the country? What is your plan?
So the main thing is for benefiting, sir. Like the other people from other country could also come and get benefited, as well as for the future generations, sir. Like if for taken into example, in 2012 the golden quadrilateral came into effect, sir. So the roads that we are imagining in a hypothetical situation, as our years is still lasting till 2015, the 3 year span of time, golden quadrilateral would benefit people, sir. Like it would reach north and south and east and west corridor, sir.
But
so
you
we
have your own limitations. Like that comes only after 27 years.
Yes, sir.
And you have your health limitations, you have
Yes,
your
sir.
challenges and all that. So how do we think? In 1985, all you 4 people are very much brimming in confidence. But what is the guarantee that you will be remaining the same after 27 years too?
So the hard work, we would all be remembering the hard work and efforts we had taken, let's take 25 years later, sir, when we have this thought in our mind, but we would ensure that we have taken a lot of hard work 25 years back, sir. We know as a team, we know that the hard work, effort and the lot of things that we have put into, we have put our own funds into creating this country as well as getting loans, sir, because we cannot create this entire country with our own funds, sir, because we 3 are the people living and
You put your lifetime savings.
yes, sir. We can't expect the other people to support us, sir. Majority of people living might support us, and the remaining might say it would not be possible, sir.
Okay.
So we wanted to make it possible so that the future generations would be benefited out of this, sir.
One second, Shivan, come close to the mic. Good presentation, Mitra.
Thank you, sir.
Good.
Thank you.
Good
I
job,
know
sir.
that there is something incomplete. We will come back to that.
okay.
We'll come back to that. And still Hariharan has not spoken as yet.
Yes, sir.
We don't have much time. It's 7:35 already. Shivan, as Mitra was mentioning, benefiting to various people. Can you tell me what are all the benefits you would like to give from the country Hindustan?
Sir, we can we can export some. We can grow many. Will not.
What are all the benefits in the sense? Education related benefits.
Sir, we want all.
Your country is fine.
Sir, if we want all the people from all the foreigners to come to our country, and we want them to study in our.
So you are going to give education benefits as well.
Yes, sir. So then many tourist spots, sir. there are many temples and there is a cricket ground over here, so many people can play matches over there, and many people can come here, so they can have a specific bank in India. They like to live in India because the army is powerful and no terrorist attacks, sir.
Good job. Nice answer.
Thank you, sir.
Now, Hariharan,
Sir.
come to the mic, please. Mitra, how much is left in your presentation?
So 1 point.
Yeah, okay, so let us finish it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that will be a synchronized flow for you.
And the last point is about education. Like it would.
Raja, சிவன் ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணிட்டான், ஒரு கொஸ்டினுக்கு ஆன்சர் பண்ணிட்டான். மித்ரா ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் முடிக்க போறா, ஹரிஹரன் ஆரம்பிக்க போறான். நீ என்ன பண்ண போற? பண்றியா? எப்போ பண்ற? சரி, ஓகே, எஸ் மித்ரா.
Anandana didn't do a presentation in that.
பாத்தீங்களா சார், எடுத்து கொடுக்குறேன் ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் இந்த கேம்பஸ் இந்த கிளாஸ்க்குள்ள இன்னும் பண்ணல.
எதுல
It's
presentation?
not an activity, sir.
தனியா ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் சார்,
Tanya
டாபிக்
presentation.
அவன் எடுத்து கொடுக்கல, போட்டு கொடுக்கல. அவனுக்கு டைம் இல்லை, எக்ஸாம் ஆரம்பிச்சிருச்சு. Maybe after the exam he will do. I spoke about that yesterday. You did not, you are not here. You left இல்லையா? நீ கிளம்பிட்டில்ல? அதுக்கு நான் பேசுறேன். Yeah, finish.
So the final thing is about education. You might wonder what new advancement we could make in the education system in this 30 years period of time. But several years back, like several years back, we had this Gurukulam type of education system. So after that it got like evolved into so many other type of education system, and everything was changed. There were new buildings called schools, and like after like many years we had government schools as well as private schools, which benefited the education, and as well people were undergoing education in two different types, and as well as they were also doing their own education, like homeschooling was also prevailing during those times. So we have made a change in our country. Like we wanted to be unique from all the education system prevailing in the other countries, and we wanted to like adapt this Gurukulam type of education system, because in that type you are going to live in a different place, you are going to adopt a different lifestyle that is going to benefit you, not the teacher who is going to teach alone. You are going to adopt a lifestyle which would be beneficial for your future, for all your health wise, and for your education wise, your work wise, and all those. It would teach you the discipline as well. Like in modern schools they would teach you about the thing that is given in the books and all those, and in Gurukulam type of system you do work, you learn discipline, and as well as you learn your education. So that is why we wanted to adapt that type of situation. We are not going to do invent a new thing, because that was already prevailing several years back. We are just adopting it again into our system. So that is the final point I wanted to add. Thank you for visiting our country. Now our teammate will continue.
Fabulous presentation.
Thank you so much.
Good job.
Thank you.
You did very professionally, and I really like that.
Thank you, sir.
Good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Setting a good example for Shivan and Dhanvant.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Hariharan.
Yes, sir. Greetings to everyone, and I have to be clearly explained to the disclaimer. For saying outside, from an outside person is saying this means it's just a silly thing, but we know the efforts that we have been done from yesterday and today, and in personally I want to say that I learned how the country is going toward forwards, and governing a country is a big thing, and we want to manage many things, and now I saw the difficulties, what the difficulties it will be facing, and I want to sincerely thank for the Mitra to present the board things that she drawn, and she have been put on some challenge futures, and our young brother Mr. Shivan has been told us the border should be in the like this way. We said we can be keep it as India, but he just changed his mind, and he tilt the country's side itself.
For your age, that kind of thinking is really good. I appreciate it. Right.
And our mid brother Dhanvant has been told us to the clear cut of where should be the places should be, have to be there in the correct suitable places.
And he was the first person to explain about farming and agriculture when a country is prevailing.
Yes.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
And I want to say the okay. I want to say the small story, Kutti story, that this was built now, not we discussed in the team members. It is my imagination, and my team members was forgot some stuffs to explain, and I want to explain that. You may saw the stumps will be interconnected with a cross. The interconnected places will be called as stations, and some capital letters will be shown. That will be shown as the private schools, and some coins, share market coins, and the coins will be shown as shops, and
I think Mitra mentioned this, and also Shivan mentioned in the list. I remember him reading about the capital letters D and S and all that.
I don't know, sir, but I am just recalling it.
You are recalling and you are actually explaining it in detail.
Yes.
That's what you mean, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
And this is not our Earth, and it's we should be imagining it. It's a parallel universe like Earth, and it has been conducted Third World War, and it has been changed its shape itself. So only the country is like this, and this country is based on the similar like to India, so it looks like it, but upside down. The north will be south and south will be the north, and this country is absolute. So 4 persons were lived after World War III. The 4 persons and the family, one family were lived, and they are the richest person in the world. So they decided to create. They have been faced so many problems in the earth, so they decided to make a new earth and new uh, country, and now the serious negotiation debate has been done for India, that India should be named as Hindustan or Bharat. So Bharat has been named as India. So we choose Hindustan to name this country, and the Hindustan as the most very powerful country. We have been decided to build it, and we decided that the army and the navy and the air force should be in the big like a rock, so that the other countries will not be touching us. So we decided to the army camps should be in the 4 sides. So whenever the enemy is entering to the country, the 4 side army or navy air force will be stopping them, and banks and sub banks in our country, the 8 districts were there, and 3 cities and 3 sub cities. So 3 cities contain the main bank, and in the main city there will be another add upon the sub bank always will be there, because the 3 main city will be a big square feet in the size. So the people should be going to the one bank, and it must be rush, and there will be inconvenience for them. So we decided that in the main city there want to be 2 banks, so that they can be going to 2 banks, so they can be comfortable, and we make a road with a high quality tar road, so for cold road, so for 50 years it will not be damaged with any causes. So our tourist or our peoples in our country is important for us, and agriculture field as as well as in the India, south will be producing some rice similar related to the rice grains will be produced, and in the north wheat grains will be produced. So same as well as in Hindustan, in the north the wheat is producing, and in the south rice is producing, and in the most of the windmill, the small specification has been done in this Hindustan country. Most of the windmill will be in the south side. So we have been placed some windmills in the south side, and for army camps the arms and ammunitions will be transferred to many. We have been placed DRDO and police station, 4 side camps, army camps. So while railway, we can transfer the arms and ammunitions, and the some related to the stuffs we can transfer from one camp to another camp. It is easily, and we are setting up the waterways transport and the airways. We are just constructing the airways, and so much people has been were coming into our country and they have been giving big beautiful feedbacks,
Oh.
and we are just advanced to India, that most of the automatic machines has been here in the supermarket, like induction stove and the dishwasher and the oven and washing machine has been a prototype, not in the original type.
இதெல்லாம்
Yeah.
உங்க கண்ட்ரியோட latest inventions, sir.
Sir, this is
sir.
this year was 1985, sir. So
Oh.
In 2015, we'll have all the advanced life.
2005 itself we will be developing in this, sir. And
How would you protect your country from natural calamities, tsunami, earthquake, and floods, basically? Pandemic. I told you yesterday itself, it has to be pandemic proof and natural calamity proof. Dhanvant will answer.
For earthquakes, forests, the trees to cover, to prevent soil erosions and earthquake.
That's good. Fair enough. How about tsunami? Because somewhere deep down, you people mentioned that it is thickly around forests. So I'm assuming that it is very, very close to some of the rivers.
sir, I want to recorrect, sir. The river is starting from there, sir,
Oh.
and coming down here, sir.
And what is that lifeboat denoting?
Lifeboat is a dam, sir.
Hmm.
Nowhere the dam is like big, such a big thing, sir. We have been built such a big thing, and forest is meant in the center of the Hindustan, sir. So
So you got a good water reserves.
yes, sir.
And let's speak about little advancement in technology. We are in 1985 and future will be of technology's hands. So how is your country prepared for holding the technology? Because prediction is there that students will have a small box of an electronic machine and they will carry onto their lab, and also a prediction that the telephones that we are using right now will be used as a small box into the palm. That is going to be unbelievable. Also, just like human robot, just like Shivan, just like Dhanvant, robots are going to be manufactured. These are all the advancements that the government and the other people are predicting. So how is your country, Hindustan, prepared for all that advancements?
Sir, we have been four peoples. We are governing the Hindustan country, so we are visiting the other countries, and we are just getting the knowledge, and we are getting the friendship, and we are getting the education materials from that country to this country, sir. So our peoples also can learn, and they can also be invented some new things, sir. So eventually, in few years, we also will be inventing some futuristic gadgets, and we will be shining in the top, sir.
Fantastic. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, right. So last 5 minutes. Dhanvant, any other final remarks, Hariran, from your side?
Fine.
ஆனால் ஃபுல்லாக எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணி முடிச்சிட்டேன் இல்லையா?
இல்லை சார், ஆட் பண்ணிடுறேன் சார். ஸோ we split this country into the desert and the eco and such a normal field. So top it will be like a desert, and the mid zone it will be like a ecosystem forest. Mainly the forest will be there, and the downstairs not much bigger forest. It will be some small patch of forest. So in the center of that, in the center of this Hindustan is flowing our river. So the peoples will be taking the top and the mid zone will be the like taking the fruits, and many without giving any fertilizer we will be getting some fruits, and we have most of the in Hindustan most of the side areas are covered by the sea, and we are planning to that. We have been keeping a
Planning to keep
so like shield, sir. It will be the mechanism that
Animals.
hydraulic pressure, sir.
hydraulic pressure.
By using a hydraulic pressure, we will be covering the which area in the seaside. It will be covering the with mechanism using by hydraulic pressure. It will be covering the area like Ayodhya, that when the Lord Krishna was there, the Ayodhya was sink into the water. So like that we will be shielding it, so the people will be living there, but the water will not be getting inside it. So some of the water will be taken inside to the country. When the flood is going back, then we will be drying to it, and we can use it as a salt. So most of the uses is there, and the fishing, water we can catching the fishing by when the flood is coming, means the fish will be automatically comes to the land. So that time filtering it, we can catching the fishes. So this is the Hindustan country is most advanced, and it has security proof, and no one can touch us.
Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Very well done.
Thank
Very
you.
well done. Dhanvant, come. So nice coverage given by Mitra, Shivan and Hariharan on the country's features. Very well done. Yes.
And the scenery was in 1985 in the country of Hindustan. The people were gone, and only the 4 persons are there. They thought to develop the country for the future generations, and for the first decade they were creating agriculture lands and dam and ground and army bases for safety of the country and the developing of the country. We thought to keep the forest in center, because the water is coming center, so we can give for both the sides, for forest peoples and normal sides can go.
Okay. Okay, fine. Enough about the country. We are going to dismantle this. It's time. We are meeting only next week, and that too only on Saturday, not on Friday, because you have your exam. So I wanted to say what you learned out of this exercise yesterday and today.
So today the country's house important the government's giving, and so they said the country is working.
How the country is functioning.
I see.
Okay. Right. Good job, Dhanvant. Very well done. All along, all you 4 did a real good job.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, there was a little bit of a presentation disorientation, but then it clearly pacified at the end. Okay, now, how much time do you think it will take for dismantling this entire thing? No. It has to be in the appropriate boxes. If you are going to pluck up everything and put into one box, 5 minutes. I don't want any of the materials to be misplaced in any of them.
Yes, sir.
Listen to Mitra, because she knows the appropriate boxes and collect it.
So we can split into sectors. So Dhanvant and Shivan can take out the pipes, and we can take inside.
Yes, that would be. Yes. See, Dhanvant and Shivan. This
I'm giving the end.
Dhanvant and Shivan, pipe, these sticks, connectors, stumps, all those inside that brown bag. There.
So see, from there it was like a dog.
Yeah. So that's the official end of MS Evening Sessions today. The learning discussion, it was supposed to happen today, but we don't have time. So maybe next week we will have the learning discussion.
Learning discussion.
No. Learning discussion, I had set up questions, and I can't do it. The pipe is falling. Biggest challenge is scattering of marble.